The movie opens in Vienna, Austria-Hungary in 1889. We start right in the middle of things with Chief Inspector Walter Uhl from the Vienna police telling the story of Eisenheim to Crown Prince Leopold. Uhl's just arrested Eisenheim during what looks like a séance or some kind of supernatural show, but it's passed off as a magic act. Then Uhl goes back and tells the whole story to the prince. We learn that Eisenheim wasn't always a famous illusionist. He was born the son of a poor cabinetmaker in a small village. When he was a teenager, a traveling magician came through his town and showed him a few tricks. This sparked something in Eisenheim and he became completely obsessed with magic. Around the same time he met and fell in love with Sophie, the Duchess von Teschen. She was a noblewoman way above his social class, so they weren't supposed to be together. They met in secret, but eventually they were caught and forced to separate. Eisenheim then left home and traveled the world, working on his magic and becoming a master illusionist. Years later he returned to Vienna and became a huge sensation. At one of his performances he runs into Sophie again. She's there with Crown Prince Leopold, and Leopold even picks her to participate in one of Eisenheim's illusions. Eisenheim soon finds out that Sophie is supposed to marry the Crown Prince. Leopold is known for being progressive, but there are rumors that he's actually a violent man, especially towards women. After Eisenheim embarrasses Leopold during a private show, his performances are banned from Vienna. Sophie then goes to Eisenheim to offer him help. They end up having a big argument, but then they give in to their feelings and become intimate. Eisenheim suggests they run away together, but Sophie explains that it's not that simple. Leopold is planning a coup to take the Austrian crown from his elderly father, Emperor Franz Joseph I. He wants to marry Sophie to get support from Hungary, which is part of the empire. Eisenheim is worried and tells her this could end badly for her. Sophie also reveals that if she leaves Leopold or tries to stop his plan, he'll hunt them both down and kill them. Even knowing the danger, Eisenheim asks her if she still wants to run away with him. She says yes without hesitation. Shortly after, Uhl's police officers who are watching Sophie see her and Eisenheim kissing in a carriage. Uhl tells the Crown Prince that Sophie was seen with Eisenheim. That night, Leopold confronts Sophie at the Mayerling hunting lodge and accuses her of being unfaithful. She tells him she won't marry him or be part of his plans. As she walks away, Leopold gets furious, draws his sword and chases her into the stables. The next day, Sophie's horse comes back to Vienna covered in blood with no rider. A search party finds Sophie's body in the Vienna woods. She's been killed with a sword. Eisenheim is heartbroken and tells Uhl that Sophie was going to leave Leopold for him. Uhl doesn't believe him because the thought of the Crown Prince being a murderer is unthinkable to him. As Eisenheim grieves and people in Vienna start suspecting Leopold, Uhl starts watching Eisenheim more closely for Leopold. Completely devastated, Eisenheim puts together a new kind of show, using strange equipment and performers from China. In his show he seems to summon spirits, making people think he has supernatural powers. Leopold decides to go to one of Eisenheim's shows secretly. During the show, Eisenheim summons Sophie's spirit, and she says that someone in the theater murdered her. Leopold panics and orders Uhl to arrest Eisenheim for fraud. Uhl begs Eisenheim not to summon Sophie again, but Eisenheim only says that Uhl will enjoy the next show. This brings us back to the beginning of the movie, where Uhl sees Eisenheim summon Sophie again. She says she lost her locket, a gift from Eisenheim, when she died. Uhl tries to arrest Eisenheim right there, but Eisenheim vanishes like the spirits he summons. After telling the story to Leopold, Uhl explains that he's found proof that Leopold murdered Sophie at the Mayerling stables. He found a jewel from Leopold's bloody sword and Sophie's locket there after Eisenheim disappeared. Leopold reminds Uhl that the Vienna police don't have authority over his hunting lodge and demands the evidence back, reminding him of the political favors he'd promised Uhl in exchange for his support in the coup. But Uhl has changed. He now only cares about getting justice for Sophie. He tells Leopold that he's already told the emperor and the army about Leopold's plan to take the throne. Enraged, Leopold points a gun at Uhl, threatening to kill him. Just then the army storms the hunting lodge. Leopold rants about how the monarchy is weak and how he needs to take power and rule by decree. As the soldiers break down the door, Leopold shoots himself in the head. Uhl is dismissed as chief inspector and leaves the palace. A boy who appeared as a ghost in Eisenheim's show gives him a paper showing how one of Eisenheim's tricks works. Yul asks where the boy got it and the boy says Eisenheim gave it to him. Yul then checks for Sophie's locket but it's gone. He realizes Eisenheim, disguised, took it while they were talking. Yul recognizes Eisenheim and follows him to the train station. As the train leaves, Yul realizes what really happened. Eisenheim and Sophie tricked everyone and framed Leopold for a murder that never happened. Eisenheim planted Sophie's locket and a piece of Leopold's sword at the hunting lodge, making it look like Leopold killed her there. The key was getting Yul, the police inspector, to believe it. Yul was a pretty straight-laced guy who really wanted justice, so when he found this evidence, he was convinced Leopold was guilty. And of course the biggest part of the trick was that Sophie wasn't actually dead. They faked her death to frame Leopold and we then see Eisenheim walking up to a house in the countryside, where Sophie is waiting for him and they embrace. The movie ends with Eisenheim's voiceover. Everything you have seen is an illusion, a trick. Subscribe to our channel. It will motivate us to bring more movie recaps for you.